All right, so I got a brand new to me 2023 M3 Competition with the X Drive. How many miles do we have on here? I'm not even sure how to get to it. All right, so we have roughly 8,100 miles on this vehicle so far. This is it's a pretty cool daily. Needs a few mods. So I've had about 1 week now. I'm gonna show you the car in just a second. Had about 1 week now. Just a little context. It's kind of weird where I'm coming from. My previous vehicle was a R8 V10 Plus. The car before that was a GTR full bolt-ons E85. I wasn't really in the market for a new car, like a fun car, but I was just like, let's try to find something that's more of a daily. So this is what we ended up with. Woke up one day, said we want an M3 Competition. This is what we went out and found. I do kind of wish I was a little bit more patient so I could get something that had the nicer interior and whatnot, but I do like the color on the outside of this one. I just went and found what was local to me, and you know, it needs some mods. It does need some mods, at the very least an exhaust. So let's go ahead and show you guys the color that we have. So I believe this is the Toronto Red M3. It does not have the carbon package. It has a carbon interior, but it does have the carbon roof. We got a lot of what's it called, pollen on the vehicle. I went ahead and ordered the carbon side skirts. We got lowering springs. We got all the carbon front stuff, the lip, the grill coming in. We ordered the Valvetronics exhaust. That's where we're going to drop off the vehicle now. We have lowering springs, spacers, and front mount intakes. So in the very next video, we should already be lowered, and at least with the exhaust and front mount intakes on. All right, so we'll clip it into this video. So 1 week into M3 Competition X Drive ownership. Last guy took pretty good care of it. He still has all the factory stuff in here. It doesn't seem like he had kids or anything. I have kids, so you know. So far, pretty good. Let's go drop off the car. It's bone stock right now. And also, someone let me know if this is factory. I guess you can't see it in daytime. It has the little M lights on there. I don't know if the previous owner added that or not. So let's go ahead and drop off the car. I will say this car is extremely quiet with nothing on it. Even in Sports Plus, you hear the transmission and the hard gear changes whenever it's on like Sport 3. I believe that's what it's called, S3. I don't know if that even stands for sport. I'm still kind of trying to do my research on this vehicle. I did order the valve controller for the stock exhaust, but as soon as that came in, I was like, no, we might as well just do the full equal length exhaust from Valvetronics. I still have like a year of warranty, so I'm gonna wait on the downpipes and tune. But so far it's been pretty decent daily driver. I barely even driven it, but it needs an exhaust or something at the least. I did drive one. I did test drive one that had the stock exhaust and it had the valve controller, and it did make a huge difference. Like, I thought it had like at least like some kind of axle back on it or something. So pretty excited, get the exhaust on, and I'm sure you guys probably see a lot of videos with how it sounds stock. You can't really hear anything. I'm hoping the Valvetronics with the exhaust closed, with the valves closed, still sounds pretty decent. Like, I'm hoping inside the cabin it still sounds pretty close to factory. That's what I'm kind of hearing, because I would like to just be able to unleash it and you hear the loud and rawness of it, and then with the valves closed, it sounds pretty nice and quiet. I have watched a lot of videos, though. I will say this vehicle doesn't sound amazing on YouTube videos. I'm hoping it's just the case of some videos. Like, some people say it sounds good with like just a mid pipe and whatnot. I'm not sure. I'm just hoping it's just the YouTube videos, because I will say it sounds kind of like a Honda Civic in some YouTube videos. So we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping at the least, since the front mount intakes will get installed as well, it'll bring a lot of that noise out from the turbos. I'd be really excited if we could just do the downpipes, but I'm gonna wait until the warranty runs out on this vehicle.
And I missed out on it, and I got super pissed off. And then, because I wanted something different.
Here's my boy Derek's M3. It looks a lot more aggressive with the carbon and lowered. That's where we're at. All right, just pick the car back up. Alright, so here's the car lowered. I'm not sure if you can tell much of a difference. I'll get some of it out in the sun in a second. Alright, welcome to part 2. This is not an instructional or how-to video. I'm not the guy for that. I'm actually going to watch some YouTube videos while I'm putting this together. So what we do have is, we got the carbon fiber side skirts, we got the carbon fiber mirrors, we also got the OEM style spoiler in carbon fiber. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that. I don't have the patience for things like polishing the scrape or scraping the residue off of the old 3M tape and whatnot. But anything with clips and whatnot, not a problem, or screws, unless it just takes up too much time, then I'm taking it to the shop. So this isn't your instructional how-to channel, but let's go ahead and see what we do have. All right, so first we have the carbon fiber mirror caps. Kind of wish we just went with the carbon package, but if you watched the first video, we just went with whatever car we could get our hands on. Get that OEM style spoiler, I believe. And this is the carbon side skirts. It's not OEM style. I think it has more of a 3D effect to it. I'm hoping it has like a bottom lip, so it looks a little bit more lowered. So it actually does kind of look close to the OEM style. The biggest difference I would say is it doesn't have this like intersection where it kind of tucks in. It just stays kind of flared out. Same in the back. It doesn't have that section where it kind of tucks in and it just stays flared out. Alright, so I'm gonna start right here. Alright, shouts out to this video. But like I said, this isn't a complete tutorial video, but there's some things I can help you with. First of all, this is a T9. And then the aftermarket's one that I purchased has this tab on it. It's definitely in the way. I'm guessing it's kind of there just for shipping, that way, you know, it doesn't bend or anything. You have to tear it off, but make sure whenever you tear it off that it is flush, because if a piece of it is still kind of sticking out, then the light doesn't sit properly. So this is pretty straightforward though. Let's go ahead and reassemble. So if you're wondering, I got the carbon fiber off of eBay. The fitment, I would say, is probably, it fits. It's just the the snapping, I would say, is probably takes a lot more force than it would if I was to put the OEM back on. But it fits fine, in my opinion. There's probably like a minor gap right there. I've always purchased a lot of my carbon from eBay. eBay is going to be the same things that you find on Alibaba, which is going to be a lot of the same. Where you're buying from a brand that's, you know, directly here in the US, they just do a lot more. You know, some of them have gone to the factories, really checked out the quality and whatnot, make sure fitment's good before they actually sell it to you. A lot of times, if you're buying on eBay and whatnot, you're taking a risk, but you know, just make sure that you can return it. If you're buying straight from a factory, just make sure it's well vetted. I don't mind purchasing like cosmetic products directly from Alibaba or eBay, depending on what it is. If it's performance parts, typically I like to buy it directly from the brand. And some people, you know, there's a whole Alibaba wave going on right now. I will say the biggest difference is the fact that if you're purchasing from a brand, a lot of times whenever they bring it into the US, there's different regulations. They actually make sure the product's good, the quality's good, make sure it's actually a product that could be sold in the US. Sometimes when you're buying directly from Alibaba, it doesn't go through all those regulations and you're just buying the actual part. Not saying it doesn't work well, but that's typically what the difference is. You know, especially with my background, I worked directly with Alibaba multiple times with brand partnerships, marketing and so forth. And that's typically how it works. So it's kind of hard to see in there, but those two clips, I managed to get it on, but I did have to like separate them because both clips kept going into one hole. As far as that one right there, one of the clips actually broke. So we only have one clip in, but we did get it on. All right, one thing I want to add, which is weird. So I said I had a hard time with this driver's side mirror cap, and I even Googled it, and apparently there might be a gap somewhere. I'm getting like a hissing sound as I'm driving, and this is the only change that we made. And good thing we drove right after we changed the mirrors, because I would have thought it could have been anything. It's some unusual hissing sound. There must be like a gap in here somewhere. Maybe it's from the broken clip, not entirely sure, but it's definitely some kind of hissing sound. But now we're about to change the side skirts. And one thing I would like to recommend, if your rivet tool is like this, the vertical V, then it's kind of hard to get under the car completely. I've seen someone change it without having to lift the vehicle up. But one thing, I'm guessing the car may not have been lowered yet, but with this car being lowered, it's not extremely low, it's on the sports H&R springs. If I had the one with the handle that kind of goes up right here, it would have fit. So now we're gonna have to kind of lift it a little bit just to kind of get under there and put the new ones on. Pretty simple. All you have to do is poke a hole in the rivets. There's several rivets down below, and then just use a little pry tool to get it off. I think it was a good call on the tape before, because this was definitely pushing against the bottom of the door as I was taking it off. It flares out a whole lot more than I thought it would right here, but we definitely need to get the front done. Now it looks kind of crazy. Like, it looks like the front is missing all its pieces, which it is. We have to get the grill done, the lip done, the ducts done, and now add the whole touch to it. But so far, I feel like we needed a Super Sports. It seems like it needs a little bit more low. I don't know, maybe if I drive around a little bit, since it was kind of lifted up a second ago so I could get some of those rivets out. It's not completely settled. Now we're about to do this side. There's something inside of here. So we managed to get the spoiler off. We just need to buff all of this off. Didn't really need to use the heat gun, just some floss. Well, actually fishing wire. So before I clean it up, just want to see what it was going to look like. It's actually slightly longer than the OEM, but it is OEM style. The OEM one is right here. This one kind of extends almost the whole width of the trunk. And then it actually has like a little groove, as you can see. So it sits at the end of the trunk. The previous one did not have that groove, and it sat right prior. So I actually like this better than the OEM because it actually sticks off a little bit, but it's still that OEM style look. It's like 2% more flashy than the OEM stuff. So just just slightly longer, and it extends out slightly more. Not a whole lot, but also I'm curious how this scratch came on the OEM one. So I bought this car with like 8,000 miles, so I don't know how to get that scratch right there. But it's very subtle, but it is slightly different. I like it a lot, to be honest. I didn't want one of the ones that just stick out a whole lot. This right here is perfect for me. Alright, so a few weeks into owning the M3, and this is everything we've done so far. I think now I'm about to order the downpipes and we'll do flex fuel. So we're gonna see how that turns out. But so far, this front lip, the fitment has not been great. I actually broke a screw, so I need to take that off and fix it, to be honest. Probably put some 3M tape right here. I did put some actually, and fitment's still a little off. But so far, we've done the carbon lip, carbon skirts, carbon mirror. I actually ordered this randomly. We did the carbon fitment's not great on that neither. Honestly, those are only things that I would probably notice. Most people wouldn't notice it. And when I just did that, it made it look really cheap. Got the Valvetronics exhaust. The tips, we had the titanium burnt tips, but something's wrong with the clamps. They even sent us a new pair and still couldn't get it on properly neither. I've even watched other YouTube videos. Other people had the same issues with the tips as well. So that's a little unfortunate. We changed the spoiler to the carbon fiber. What else? That's pretty much it. We lowered it, got spacers on, got front mount intakes, we got black filters on there so it looks a little more discreet. I do want to change the grille and the carbon ducts as well. I was going to wait to take the front bumper off to fix that front lip. And then we got the equal length exhaust. That's pretty much it. Oh, the carbon mirrors, I think I already said that. So car's been pretty fun. It's a great daily. It's not loud. When I say loud, it's not... I came from an exotic to this car because I wanted a new daily for fun. But I would say it's just not... It doesn't grab huge amounts of attention, which is awesome. And it still has the performance. So whenever you hit those roads, it's awesome. Straight line, I think it needs a few upgrades. I think downpipes and a tune or something. I even see like the piggyback is giving it like 150 horsepower, 200 horsepower, so it's pretty crazy. I do probably want to change the pads or the brake pads, maybe even the rotors. Just get a little bit more braking power, not braking powder. So yeah, this even gave me energy to redo the garage. Did the floors on it, so it's pretty cool. And for those of you guys who are watching, you know, feel free to subscribe and whatnot, because if I ever show products that companies may give me, I really want to make sure it's a product that I would want and give you guys a fair review. Because for example, the floors, I could have easily got that off of Temu. Temu gives away free products all the time, and I have another channel that's a pretty decent size, and you know, we get offered products all the time. And just even getting into this M3, I've seen lots of people show lots of products, and I can tell they're giving these products. So I can tell the reviews aren't 100%. So yeah, feel free to subscribe and whatnot. And I'll try to make some more BMW M3 videos. The next one will probably be downpipes and flex fuel. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the exhaust clip sounds. That's kind of the best I could get right now. Still learning the best positions to actually put the microphone. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Put on auto so it's easier to record.